So the time is now 4:20 and we will officially call our meeting to order. We want to thank everybody for being here tonight and note that everyone is in attendance. We do not have any guests tonight, so we'll move on to agenda item B, which is the approval of the agenda. So we'll need a motion and a second to approve the agenda today.
I'll motion. I already read it.
Motion by Ms. Hill.
Oh, I did, yeah.
Second by Ms. Russell. All in favor of approving our agenda for tonight, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. The next item on our agenda is to review the minutes from our July 30th meeting. So if you will go ahead and take a minute to review those, and then when we're ready, we'll take a motion and a second for those items.
Hey, 2C will list their percent. Oh, it's just the percent, not the actual student. Never mind. I didn't read that.
That's real funny on the website. So
It's kind of silly. Yeah.
it's absolutely.
It's like, ugh, like real aggressive.
Size
at the
19
top.
font.
I mean, it's like, what the heck?
Motion by Ms. Hobbs. Do we have a second? Second by Mr. Beasley.
Ooh,
Any
goddamn,
discussion?
Mr. Beasley.
All in favor of approving our minutes from July 30th, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Awesome. The next item on our agenda is good news to report. So I am excited to announce that we are fully staffed. The final offer went out yesterday. So they're just working to onboard. We have an employee starting tomorrow. Our special ed para, she starts tomorrow, and then our preschool para will start. Oh, yes. I've asked for a sub. So, but yeah, so we are fully staffed. We had a great meet the teacher night. It was awesome to have all of our families here. Cleanup day went well. Until my kids decided to have an accident and I had to go home. So we had Chalk the Walk, which if you didn't see, Fayette County featured that on their social media platforms. So they came out and took pictures of that. The first day of school went great. We had our PTA Tears and Cheers event. Big crowd. It's awesome. So any additional items to celebrate?
I don't know. I've told y'all about the busload of books that's coming. We won an author and illustrator visit. We were one of 12 in the United States, 6 that were coming to the school. Every child will get a free book from the author. We have a K2 book and a 3-5 book. So that's happening on September 17th.
That's
so
awesome.
excited.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's gonna be great.
So,
Busload of
the
books.
busload of books.
I wrote this book.
Yeah, this is sponsored through First Books, Build-A-Bear, and
There's you got some books today. I carried over packages.
I just got this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is
Okay.
gonna be like 500 books that they're sending. Just
Do
because
you know who the
everybody,
author is?
yeah, it's Matthew, I can't remember the name, it's, hold on, I just had a
It's fine.
conversation with them. Robbie Bear and Matthew something.
They're a married couple
They're
that
a married
travels with their
They've
whole
been here
family.
They've never been here
Oh,
before,
okay.
but last year they went
Traveling books.
to one school in every state. And yeah, they took their kids out of school and they just did like a year-long thing. So they're coming with their 3 dogs or 2 dogs and the bus, and the dogs are gonna be in the bus, and the kids will get to go out and take pictures, and I know, I'm so excited. It'll be fun.
Yep.
The kids will love that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And book fair's coming.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's coming.
13th.
Okay.
Yes. So those are my things.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Any other good news? Awesome. We don't have any guests, so we'll skip over public comment. For item number 2, school improvement planning, we're just in the progress monitoring phase. So we are just continuing to work with that. We'll be gearing up in September and October to start the whole comprehensive school improvement planning phase again, and working through all of that fun. So the next item we'll move is to our budget report. You-
Need to move that one date.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Does that need to be?
No, we'll do it. We can do it outside of this. We'll
Okay.
do a special call.
Okay.
It's not a big deal. So you have access to the Munis report, where teachers are spending their money like we've asked them to. We're starting to order things that we need for the schools. So pretty much right now, we're still at the blanket state of everything. Everything's pretty much where we started. There's minor expenses coming out, but continuing to work that. And ask Amber. I think so. I don't know. You also have access to the school activity fund report. Currently in our school activity fund, we have $94,661 sitting there. Most of that right now is being used towards staffing, which we'll talk about in a little bit. So any questions on our budget reports?
What about the rugs? Are we gonna talk about that too?
Yes, that'll come in Title I down later.
Got it.
Yep. Next, we don't have any committee reports today, so we'll move through to our bylaw or policy reports. There are 4 policies here that we would like to just take a look at and just have everybody take some time to review. The first one is our bylaws. The second is technology use. The third one is discipline. The fourth one is the curriculum policy. I reviewed these and I did not see anything that has jumped out as changes. Most of these, let me check, have been actually, every one of these has been revised within the last 2 years. So if you want to just skim over and look, we come back to them every year and we take a look at them every year. Again, I did not see any changes that were necessary, but if you want to skim it, we'll take a couple minutes to let everybody review. And then if you see any edits, if it's a typo, I can fix a typo without us having to vote on it. But just if you see any big things that you want to change, let us know. So we'll take a few minutes and I'll stop talking.
They signed the one-to-one agreement every year?
So right now, they're doing, they have to redo the AUP, the acceptable use policy. And yes, they have to sign the one. But everybody had to do the acceptable use policy again because it hadn't been revised for like 10 years. And so yet again, so I'm waiting until a couple weeks so people can do the.
And those come out
online
through
things.
email. Like
Oh, they
parents,
do? Yeah.
parents got
Yeah.
them both via email.
Yeah.
And so we're only having to hunt down the
People
friends
who
that didn't
didn't.
do the
Right, okay.
online version.
So
It's better
not
than the
nearly as
paper when we
much-
did.
It's not nearly as much work, but still the ones that typically don't fill it out, then I'm still sending them the copies. Yeah. They still get to send it home even if they don't send it. Because you can't really deny them just because.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Do we need to get background checks again?
It's every 3-5 years, you're fine.
Okay.
You're listed as a contractor, so yours is,
Okay.
they don't expire as fast.
Okay.
Because you got the big
Well, I haven't
one.
gotten the rest of
Yeah,
it.
you guys got the big one.
Yeah.
I mean, I just got a friend's gonna get a background check for that dog, remember? But they dismissed it. Yeah, that hurt my volunteer opportunity.
I don't think so.
What?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I do. That little baby.
I think it looks great though.
Yeah.
I'd like to say
Awesome. So we don't have to vote. We don't have to do anything. We'll continue on for another year. So There we go.
You want to keep this train rolling?
Great work. So we don't have any old business to discuss today, so we'll move on to new business. I honestly really don't know why we have to have old business on there. It's a state required thing, but I've never put anything in old business ever. So moving into enrollment. So we have currently enrolled, we have 448 students. We need 3 more.
Yeah, that one thing about like if we add one more child, it's like, good God,
Yeah.
I will knock on doors.
We need 3 more kids.
No.
We have a teacher who has agreed to potentially enroll her children if we don't get there, just for the day. So,
Oh my goodness.
so what we have right now in kindergarten, we have 80 students enrolled. That currently puts us between 19 and 21 students in each classroom. We are expecting 2 more students to enroll. They've told us they're coming. They just haven't come. In first grade, we have 95 students right now, which is about 18 to 20 students per class. We are also waiting on 2 students to enroll in that grade, which would take us to 97.
Holy cow.
In second grade, we currently have 66. We only have 3 classes in second grade, so those are sitting on 21 to 23s right now. We do have 2 students expected to enroll in second grade as well.
Be here before day 10.
I'm hoping so. Day 10 is next Wednesday. So
You're
like,
Where are they coming from? Get in here. They allowed?
the out of town, Prestonsburg, like we've got like several.
I didn't know if it was like a
Prestonsburg.
UK thing, because
Uh-huh.
UK's starting so much later. this
They
year,
are.
And so that impacts the kids coming.
Yeah.
So-
Today is the very first day this year we have not enrolled a student. Well, actually, that's a lie. We enrolled kids today because they came back. So I just didn't have to place them because we'd already placed them. So we've enrolled new kids every single day. Third grade, we're at 73 students, which is 18 to 19 students per class. Fourth grade is at 76 students. And there's 3 classes there. So they're sitting on 25s and 26s right now. So they're pretty heavy. Fifth grade is sitting at 58, which is 19 to 20 students per class. If we were to drop them down from 3 to 2, they'd be sitting on 29s. So it's kind of that balance of, we've got fourth grade sitting at 25 and 26, fifth grade, it's a hard thing. So yes, we have 448 students currently enrolled with the potential. We know of 6 students that are expected to enroll.
Okay.
There's been kids that we expected to enroll who went elsewhere. But so right now that's what we are sitting at. So potentially it could go up to 454. Uh-huh.
So let me double
Are
check
you for
class.
real?
Kindergarten is 4 classrooms.
4 classrooms.
First is 5.
Yep.
Second is 3.
Yep.
Third is
4,
4.
and then 3 and 3. So the next item we'll move into is a staffing and hiring update. Since our last meeting, we have hired 2 individuals. The first one is Emily Baker. She's a preschool instructional para. She is actually one of our kindergarten parents as well. She worked 10 years at Disney. And
Did Homebound and Richmond.
daycares
Yeah.
and preschool, and she's got a lot of experience.
She and I also went to Glendover together.
Yeah, she went to Glendover.
Yep. Yep.
And then Caleb, her
Yep.
son Caleb was in Owen's St. Michael's class last year, so like I know them. through St.
Yeah,
Michael's.
Emily grew up on Shady Lane.
So
Yeah.
so she'll be, she has her orientation meeting on Tuesday.
Very, very excited. Was at
No,
Caleb's
she's
birthday party on
juiced.
Saturday.
Yeah.
She's-
So yeah, it's gonna be a great addition to our team. And then we also have Sarah Gant, who will be a special education para. That was a position that was added after our meeting. We interviewed her, but
She a parent?
yes, she's a parent.
Okay.
She's now a parent.
Okay. I was like,
She, because she was working here, she enrolled her child here.
okay, cool.
So she, we interviewed her for the preschool position, and during that interview process, we were asking people if they were interested in the special ed. And so we're really excited to have her. She starts tomorrow. So, so that will be where we stand with that. So, yep, her email is active.
Okay, great.
Um,
I'll add her to my
Yes.
list.
So now let's talk additional funds. None of this is official. So this is all what I'm currently projecting and based on our current race formulas. The official day where all of this goes in is next Wednesday. Last year, it took 2.5 weeks for them to give us the budget and to tell us what was happening. I believe it's going to happen at the end of next week. I think they've worked out the kinks that we should know something officially by the end of next week. If we like kind of my recommendation, or we feel comfortable with coming together with a recommendation from the council, we can vote tonight and have this is what we want to do with any additional funds. And then I will follow through with that process. If we're not comfortable with making that decision this evening and we want to wait, we can have a special called meeting in a couple weeks and discuss when we have the official, this is the actual what we're getting. If so, totally up to the council of how we want to proceed here tonight. So if we look here under current funds available in our workbook, which is the allocation from the district, we currently owe the district $53,313.30. Currently in our school activity fund, in our after school program money, we have $60,000 sitting there to cover those expenses. That money is money the district can't touch. It just can keep rolling over for us year over year over year. So that's a good pot of money to maintain as much as we can. Supplemental duties, we have $13,550 available there. And in our carry forward from last year, we have $2,397.95. So if you take and total this all up, it gives us a current balance of $22,635 that we can work with. I can touch that today. That money is sitting there today that we can do. So with our average costs, you can see this is what a teacher costs, this is what a para costs. Currently, if they were to run our numbers today as they stand, we will be getting a half of a teacher, which is $35,407. If you add that to our current funds, that is $58,000 that we will get today. That if they ran it today, we get that. 450 is a magic number where a bunch of formulas kick over and roll forward. So at 450, which is three more, because we have 448.
Right.
At 450, it rolls over, but it still rounds down to those lower numbers. So we need to get to 451. So if we get 3 more students between now and next Wednesday, that will increase our allocation up to a full teacher and half of a clerical position.
Or if all of these that you know,
If the
are
6
gonna
come
do
in,
it, then we're good.
then we're good at
Because
this
we're at
3
454.
additional. Yes,
Okay.
but they
They have
have
to
to
come
be
by
here by
next
next Wednesday. So it's not it's kind of a, if they come,
Yeah.
and we have to not lose anybody,
Right.
which we know there's one student who somehow is enrolled in another district, but has been coming to school. We don't know. It's really weird. Like he's enrolled in Western Kentucky
That he's coming to school here.
right now. Real weird. They haven't started school yet out in Western Kentucky. So that's one we're trying to figure out. So
We're at daycare right now.
I don't know. Yes. So if we get those 3 additional students, that gives us $94,702. Plus then we can fund our current funds. So it's about $117,000. If we get 5 kindergartners, this is specific to kindergarten, which I don't see happening. That adds an extra half of a kindergarten para. I feel pretty confident we'll end in this middle column. I think the 5 additional K students is kind of a lucky.
Yeah.
We would be lucky to get that at this point. But that adds an extra $16,000. Right. So we have 2 that are expected to come, but not 5. So that's kind of where we stand with everything. So I'm kind of thinking we'll be in this 3 additional student range is what I'm really looking at. So based on kind of my thinking and where we stand right now, I'm recommending that we first fund, keep the supplemental duty money, that $13,550, which allows us to pay people who are going above and beyond and doing clubs and doing different roles, pay our SBDM secretary, pay our social media people, pay my recommendation is that's first. I also recommend that we keep this $60,000 hold that until the spring, where it gives us some more buying power in the spring. And then we use whatever is left over to purchase instructional paras. Those instructional paras, the way I'm envisioning it right now, is they would not be assigned to a grade level. They would be assigned based on need. So we would look at things like, hey, we see EL as a need. How can we use these individuals for an EL? I think at this $117,000 range, I think we can get 1.2 para educators. So I would probably do 2.6s.
Okay.
Is kind of what I'm thinking right now.
And those would be EL.
They could be EL. They could help with intervention. Kind of where I can tell you right now, the need is in EL.
It's EL.
It is. It is. We
Like
have.
having an EL teacher, you don't think it's.
I don't think we're going to get a quality candidate at this time. That's gonna, because I can't take from within Fayette County.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so I don't
You
think.
could have 4 bodies at least.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Even
So-
2 are for half the time.
Because right now we have 115 EL students that are active EL students.
Well, and based
um,
upon the
What's- do you
numbers,
know
they're
what
the ones that
ratio
get left
is for
behind.
EL to
It's
teachers?
technically 1 to 75
Okay.
is what the unofficial is. The official answer is there is no ratio, because
Over.
it is growing at a rate that is unstaffable. Fayette County can't maintain the ratio, so they will never put out here's the ratio,
Okay.
because it's not a maintainable level with kids coming in. And so they're constantly asking for more staff at the district level. But it is, so I think we could get a good bang for our buck to have people that can do intervention, can do EL, and support as
Well, I
needed.
know you talked about last meeting, like in 4th grade specifically, where your classroom sizes are bigger, you would benefit more from having EL support in that grade level than
Yeah,
you would anything
mean,
else.
Yes.
And
The
I would say
other,
second
the
grade
other
would feel the
caveat
same.
to this is now the Senate
Yes.
Senate Bill 9 now says that any kids who tested in 3rd grade that were not proficient or distinguished now have to be in intervention, even if their math scores don't show that they need to be in intervention. Now we have like. now
It's
we
adding
have-
more kids.
Now we've
Yeah.
got like, we got lists today that have like, 5 more kids than we realize need
Yeah.
intervention, and that's small group, and then that's 5 kids, that is a small group, and then, and
Right.
so throwing that in the mix and 26 kids, which is. it's
Yeah.
just like
So that would allow,
Yeah.
Kids though, or does it need to be like?
it can be
It can be
6, it can
okay.
be, yes,
I
like,
know that with Free to Achieve, it had. to
yeah,
be
no,
like
with this,
tier,
it can be any group. They just have
But
to
there
get
were
tier
already-
2.
But there were already kids
Right.
in
right.
intervention, and
Right.
now there are more in intervention.
Yeah. So I don't want to say this is going to be an EL para. Like, I want to say this is going to be an instructional para that is going to support EL students. I can see it very
And
much
support what
supporting
we need.
intervention students in certain grade levels and providing those levels of support where 2nd and 4th are higher class sizes.
Yeah.
So
We're
in
having-
ways,
we're having space, like.
yes,
Like space and class issues.
Yeah.
Like there's just, like today I was like, go and get a math, and I was like, oh, that was a terrible idea. Now there's 26 people at the corner of the classroom driving around. I'm like, that's not gonna work anymore. It's just like little stuff like that. You're like, well, that's not working. I had
Yeah.
to move my pencil sharpener because there were too many people in line at the pencil sharpener, and they were, so it's just little like.
so we're looking more
Things
like
like
how do
that.
we reduce class sizes and have
Yeah.
these people that can support students in smaller settings outside of the classroom setting under the advisement of individuals, so that we can try and reduce down
Well, in
those
2nd grade,
needs.
I know they have a lot of you're either reading at a Q level or you don't even know your letters.
Yes, it's
So
very,
there's a big discrepancy there, which would be difficult to teach, and they would also need intervention as well.
but I don't
So,
see these
okay.
individuals sitting in you're assigned to 4th grade and
This
you're just
room or
sitting in this
whatever.
room doing that. It's
Yeah.
very much active instruction based things
Where we need you.
where you need you, mainly focused EL and intervention
Okay.
is
So-
where the targets.
Idea.
Yeah.
Could these people really work under an MTSS umbrella?
Yes,
Could these people be under Emily Green and MTSS and helping, when
yes,
we're in our
MTSS.
MTSS, multi-tiered
Systems of support.
Okay.
Could
Yes, they
work
would
under
report
that
to
umbrella,
Emily.
and then their schedule is created by
yes,
the MTSS coordinator and says, this is there's only one Mrs. Bowers, so I need you to do this and this, and at this
Yes.
time of day, like, I need schedules, I need times, and those people need schedules. And
Yes, yeah, she would create all of that and very specifically say, okay, you're supporting this group of EL students during this time, and you're doing this. You're supporting this group of intervention students, and you're doing this.
Like, I would say as a teacher, I don't want one more person to have
Right.
to tell what to do.
Yes,
I want someone else to tell this person what to
Right.
do. Do
yes,
not come to my door and be like, how can I help you? You know what? Go, because I don't have time to tell you what
Right,
to do.
because it
Like,
takes you longer to explain. It's
Exactly.
like when they come in here, it's like. it
I need
takes you
someone
longer
else.
to
That's why I
explain.
would rather than be an instructional MTSS,
yes,
whatever. And this, you have an assignment. This is what you're in charge of. This is who's in charge of
Another
you.
thing on your list, of course,
Yeah.
Sarah, you
Yes.
can-
Yeah.
and that's what I don't want. I don't want it to
But
be
that
at
has
this
happened in the
point.
past, and I was like, oh my
Chaos.
God.
Yes.
I've got one more kid now.
Yes, I want it to be very structured, and and where we can do these with these individuals, because this would be their role. You are here to do this. You're going to follow this schedule every day. They can't do intensive, so they can't do tier 3 intervention. But they can do
Like,
tier
they can do
tier
grade weeks,
2.
They can do time
Yes.
delay. They can do flashcards.
They can, and we can
do all
train
kinds of
them on
things.
those programs
Yeah.
and have them become experts in this and support in that way.
I think
And
that's
if
a great
you,
idea.
if you are entering a school in this position,
And
you
it's
would want
fluid.
something like that. You would want a
Right.
program that was predictable and,
Yeah.
and you're
Structured, easy to
structured and
learn.
Yeah.
easy
It's
to
all like
learn.
green and what to do with day 10 money.
Yeah.
I'm so-
Okay, so if we are comfortable, does someone want to, do we want to make a motion that this is our staffing recommendation?
I'll make a motion.
Okay.
I'll second
Okay.
Dan.
Motion by Miss Lane, a second by Miss Hill, that we will first refund supplemental duties, then refund our school activity fund, and then with whatever's left over, we will purchase instructional paraeducators with those funds,
Did you ever figure out why that school has such a big school activity fund?
because they run their own program, and it's the COVID money. During COVID,
Ooh.
day
Like the ESSER
schools,
stuff?
no, schools that ran their own day after school program,
Uh-huh.
there was CARES money that came out
Yeah.
that was given to all daycare
Oh.
centers.
Yeah.
Those
If you ran
programs
them within the school.
within the school, those programs got those checks. Those checks covered all your expenses. So every penny that came in during those 2 years of COVID time
Yeah.
was profit.
Yeah, and you can
Every
do one of
penny.
that.
Pure
So, like,
profit?
St. Michael's give out $60,000 worth of bonuses with their CARES money to all their staff.
Yes.
So like we reap the benefits of that for years. It's no longer, but like
Well, yeah,
so,
but still,
or you
that's
could
great
just
when it was there.
make the money.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, it was
Okay, so
flat
that's
profit.
why.
It was,
Okay.
so they were making bank money
Bank, yeah.
because they didn't have to pay, they weren't paying out any money.
Wow. Okay.
So,
Okay.
okay, so all in favor of approving the staffing recommendation, please say aye.
Bye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Awesome. Great work, guys. So moving down to our next item, field trips. We have 2 field trips on our list here. The first one is 5th grade going to Keeneland. This is a free field trip. They don't pay anything for this. It is completely a free trip. You guys don't have to approve these. I just do these for
Okay.
informational. The second one is 2nd grade is going to go to the Opera House. They're going to see the Frozen musical through SCAPA. So that will be approximately $10 per student. So I'll be approving those this afternoon. So the next item is we actually have to move into closed session to talk about our emergency plan. So do I have a motion to move into closed session?
I will motion.
Motion
to move
by
into a
Ms.
closed
Hill.
session.
That's coming after. Oh, actually, sorry. Let's go back. I've skipped something. I got so excited about this closed session. Okay. I've just been so worried about this stinking closed session. Okay. Title I fund request. So with our Title I funds, so we did have that. We currently have $7,987 left after we paid for all of our staffing. Okay. 3rd grade has requested rugs for their classroom, like the big rugs.
Like the boat rug that I took out of. Miss
Yes.
Orthodontia.
So they have requested that for those items. So 3 of them want this flagship carpet circle rug, that one with those colors. One of them wants this one, but not those colors. They want like, it's like teals.
That's Nikki.
That's Nikki. So.
That's hilarious. You were like, I know what that is.
So they are requesting this money. Shipping would be about $300 for a total of $2,000 of that $7,900 to be used out of Title I funds to purchase those items.
I give them the rugs.
Okay, so Ms. Hill makes a motion to approve. Is there a second? Second by Ms. Russell. All in favor of approving rugs for third grade, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion
You know
carries.
what's interesting is like you could get a ruggable rug for about that.
It's because we have to
Not
use
a
I know
vendors.
vendor.
because it's not an approved vendor.
So.
Because in my head I was like, well, that makes more sense because then they could just wash them.
And
Yep.
where would
But
we
then I
watch
was like,
that?
it's not an approved vendor.
Yep.
Well, I would, yeah.
You
Like
got
you
it.
send me,
You send
you
it.
know, and I'll watch them.
Okay, now do I have a motion to move us to closed session to review our emergency plan? Motion by Ms. Hobbs. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Beasley. All in favor of moving into closed session? Closed session, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Awesome. So if you are watching the live feed, we're going to pause. I'll turn my camera and the audio off, and then we'll return here. So at this time, we are out of closed session. Do I have a motion to approve our emergency management plan?
Make a motion.
Motion by Ms. Bowers, second by Ms.
I
Ott.
got her for a second.
All in favor of approving our emergency management plan, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
I think me and Ms. Russell always did
Awesome.
the same thing.
So the next item on our agenda is agenda 8, which is just other items. You've got a supplementary packet. I will give you typically a paperclip packet. If I didn't give you one, I will give you one. But that just gives you, these are the policies we're going to look at the next month. So if you read them in advance, it makes our meetings go a lot faster because we can just click and click and click. If you didn't get one, here you go, because I don't need one. So so that brings us to item number 9 on our agenda, which is the adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Adjourn.
Motion by Ms. Hill. Is there a second? Second by Ms. Russell. All in favor of adjourning today's meeting, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We are officially
Marley,
adjourned
we're
at
the front, we have to
5:09.
move a meeting.
What meeting are we
I'm putting
moving?
away a pen.